G'day everyone, in this video I'm very quickly going to go through a setup guide for the new Taylordrift Scottish tryhard script. I'm not going to go into full detail for every single mod that's in the script here, so if you're looking for that, this isn't the video for you. But if you want to know how to get the script set up, know how to enter the menu, navigate the menu, change values, keep watching, because by the end of this you'll have that done and you'll know what you're doing. So let's get into it. Alright, so let's have a look through the script here. Now to enter the menu, what you're going to do for the first time, for everybody it's going to be the exact same. You're going to press LT or L2 if you have a PlayStation controller, and the menu button if you're on Xbox, and options if you're on PlayStation. So that's L2 and options, or LT and menu. Once you press that, it'll enter the menu of the script. You can then use the D-pad up or down to scroll through all the available options that we have here. All right. Now, the first one that we want to go to is the controller option, which we see here. You know you have the controller part selected when it's the biggest one on the screen there. You're going to press A if you have an Xbox controller, or X if you have a PlayStation controller, to enter that menu. All right. Now, you can see it says button layout controller. What we need to do here, match it to whatever button layout we use in the game. All right, so if you play on default, you don't have to make any changes here. If you play tactical, you're going to have to put it on tactical. Now, we select this by using up or down on the D-pad to scroll through the available options. Once you have it on your one, mine's default, so I can just leave it there. You don't have to press anything. We just press right on the D-pad to move over to the next option. Now, this one is stick layout. Again, you just need to match it to whatever you use in the game. I'm on default, so I can leave it. If you do play on Southpaw, again, you don't have to press anything to select it. Just put it on Southpaw using the D-pad and then move over to the next option and it'll stay there. All right, but mine's on default, so I'll leave it. Now, block rumble, in-game vibration will need to be left on. So in the game settings, vibration will need to be on for the script to be working correctly. If you don't like your controller vibrating, use this block rumble feature to stop that. Okay, so if you don't want your controller vibrating, turn this on using the D-pad. Just press up or down on the D-pad to turn that on, and that'll stop the controller vibrating. But again, in the game settings, vibration needs to be left on. After we've done that, we're going to press B or circle to go back to the menu part here, the main menu. We're going to go down once to the profile section and press A or X to go into that menu. Now, the first thing you'll see is the profile button. You're going to use up or down on the D-pad to scroll through the available options. Now, this is going to be the button that you press to change the script from its primary profile to the secondary profile and back again. So I strongly recommend making this button the button that you press in-game to change weapons. Next, we move over to the resync buttons part. Now, sometimes the primary and secondary profile can get a little bit mixed up. So these will be the resync buttons to get everything back to normal again, right? So for example, you'll have your primary weapon out. The script will be on secondary. When you change weapons in the game, the script will change back to the primary profile, but you'll have your secondary weapon out. So things get a bit mixed up. So what you need to have here is your resync button sorted. That way you can press these buttons and it'll go back to normal. So primary will be primary, secondary will be secondary. Now, to select these buttons, what we do is we hold our ADS button. So if you play normal, you're going to hold L2 or LT. If you play any of the flipped controller layouts, you'll use L1 or LB. So hold your ADS button, the button that you use to aim down your sight, and then press left or right on the D-pad to scroll through the available options. All right, so I'm going to make the first one L2/LT. You choose whatever, is comfortable for you, or copy mine, whatever. After you've chosen the first button, you're going to let go of your ADS button, press down on the D-pad, hold your ADS trigger again, and then use left and right on the D-pad to choose the second button. All right, so I'm going to go with L2/LT and triangle Y. After that, you can let go of the ADS button. We press right on the D-pad to go over to custom profile. So like I mentioned, this script has a primary and a secondary profile option there. There's also a third profile, so you can have 3 different anti-recoil settings set up. And these buttons are going to be the buttons that we use to enter our custom profile. Okay, so I'm going to go with, I've used this for a while, so I like to use R3, RS, and D-pad down. Again, it's completely up to you what you choose. The way you choose these 2 buttons is the exact same way we just chose the resync buttons, all right? So hold your ADS button, use left and right on the D-pad to scroll through, let go of the ADS button, press down on the D-pad once so it goes down to the bottom option, hold your ADS button again, and left and right on the D-pad until you find the ones that you want to use. After you've selected those custom profile buttons, we can press B or circle to come back to the main menu. We're going to go up to the MISC mod section and press X or A to enter this part of the menu. Now, these are all the extra mods, so you can go through here and choose which ones you like. Probably the most popular ones are going to be slide cancel and BunnyHop. Slide cancel, pretty self-explanatory. So go through, press up or down on the D-pad, use the Modern Warfare/Vanguard one if you're playing Modern Warfare or Vanguard, and use the Cold War one if you're playing Cold War, or leave it off if you don't want to use it at all. Now, cancel slide also has the slide delay option, so this means you can make the slide cancel really long or really short. It's up to you. So 120 is the default. I like to play on 70. You can play around with whatever you like. The way you change these values is quite simple. You're just going to hold your ADS button, whether that be L2, LT, or L1, LB, and then use the D-pad to change it. Now, you can press left or right on the D-pad to change it 1 at a time. You can press up or down on the D-pad to change it 10 at a time, and sometimes more, depends on the mod, but either way, you're getting the point. After that, you can come back, move over. There's BunnyHop. If you want to use that, turn that one on. You're just going to press up or down on the D-pad to turn that off or on. Crouch shot, these are all just other mods if you want to use those. Fast melee, Insta Drop, enemy ping, VM speed, that sort of thing. Custom Sens, I've made a complete separate video on that, so if you want to learn a bit more about it, then I'll leave a link to it in the description. I just don't want this video going for very long. After that, we're going to press B or circle again, come back to the main menu. Let's go up to fire mods. The first one is rapid fire. What I recommend doing, leave it off, but press A or X to enter the rapid fire menu. Here you can see the rounds per second. What I recommend doing is turning this one up to maybe 10 to 15. It's up to you which one you choose. It doesn't really matter. 10 seems to work fine for most things, but just leave that there. Don't turn it on. Don't have it on all the time, but just have that there ready to go, and I'll show you why now. Because after you've done that, come back to the main menu, come down to where it says Q toggles, which is quick toggles. Enter the menu, and you'll see the first one there is rapid fire. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a quick toggle for our rapid fire. This means we can press 2 buttons to rapidly turn rapid fire off or on. All right, so I like to have LT/L2 and D-pad up as my rapid fire buttons. You can choose whichever ones you like. That's what I like. Press B again to back out. We're going to go B again so that saves. I'll just show you how this works. So now what happens when I press that quick toggle, which was L2/LT and D-pad up, rapid fire turns on quickly, and we already have it set to 10 RPS. So if you're having to pick up a weapon on the ground that you can use rapid fire with, or even if you're just using it for your starting pistol, once you're flying in, you can have rapid fire on. Once you find another ground loot weapon, you can quickly turn it off using that trigger, or if you go back to your pistol, you can quickly turn it back on again. You know, it's real quick. You don't have to go into the menu every time. Now, in the quick toggle section here, there is quick toggle options for other settings. So you can use akimbo rapid fire, burst fire, jump shot, Insta Drop. If you do want to have quick toggles for those, go through and set those up. We set those up the exact same way we set up the profile buttons, the resync buttons, and everything else. So if you're not sure how to do that by now, then rewind the video. Next, we're going to have a look at some aim assist stuff. Now, if you're watching this video, you're probably pretty new to this sort of stuff, these new, Taylordrift scripts and everything. So I don't recommend even looking at this aim assist section. I recommend coming to the admin values section here and looking at the preset admin values. All right, so this will automatically set some values for you, so that way you don't have to sit there and worry about, oh, do I turn this on, or can I turn this on and this one on? Do I leave this off? What values do I use for this? You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about that. These are all preset values. You can come through here, choose whichever one you like, and it'll preset all those aim assist values for you, and you won't have to worry about doing it yourself. All right, now there's none in here that are the best aim assist settings or anything, because if you go through and ask 100 people that use this script, not all of them are going to be using the exact same values. All right, it's just not how it works. So what I recommend doing is starting on one, choose a random one. If it's this one here, just back out to that saves and play a few games with that one. After a few games, we come back, go to admin values over here, and maybe choose something else. Maybe choose the bro time one. We back out and go and play a few games with that one. And if you're not feeling that one, or you thought, maybe we'll try something else, come back in again and choose something else here. And back out to that saves and keep playing. Eventually, you'll find one that you like a lot more. There's also channels in the Taylordrift Discord where the admins and users share their aim assist values as well. So if you want to go through and just copy those, there's literally thousands of options, but I'm showing you the easiest way. There's preset values here for a reason. Now, last but not least, we'll have a look at some anti-recoil stuff. I'm not going to go into full detail for every single anti-recoil mod, as I don't want this video going for that long. So we're going to have a look at just the very basics of it. We get enter the menu with A or X. Once we enter the anti-recoil section, the first one to come to is the basic anti-recoil. You can use up or down on the D-pad to choose these options. You've got legacy anti-recoil and rumble anti-recoil. Now to enter the options there, again, we press A or X and we come to the value section. We've got vertical strength and horizontal strength for this one. And what you do, just like changing values and anything else, you hold your ADS button and then use the D-pad to adjust, and you'll need to adjust it for whatever weapon you're using. There's no magic numbers that work for every weapon and every person using this script. You need to find the values that will work for the settings that you play on. Now, if rumble isn't cutting it, you can move over to the other options here, which is basic progressive and advanced progressive. Again, I've done tutorials on both of these. I'll leave a link to those in the description if you want a more in-depth description of how progressive anti-recoil works, and I recommend going and watching those. But I'll go through and just show you what's included. So we've got progressive, the basic version. In here, we've got vertical start, vertical end, and the time. There's also horizontal start, horizontal end, and horizontal time. Moving over to the advanced option, it adds a mid value. So you can see there's vertical start, vertical mid, which is the new one, and vertical end. Vertical time is still there. Horizontal start still there, but there's now a horizontal mid value, and horizontal end and time is also still there. Changing the values on this stuff is still the same. Hold your ADS button and then use the D-pad to adjust those values to whatever you need to. After you've set everything up, or after you're happy with everything, you can press B or circle, and again to back out of the menu. And now everything's done. Everything's saved. You can see there where it says primary. If I press triangle or Y to change weapons, if I was playing the game, you can see it now changes on the script as well. It's on secondary. If I press it again, it'll change back to primary, and it'll keep changing as long as you keep pressing that button. Now, what you'll need to do if you're playing with a primary and a secondary profile is after you've set up the primary, you'll need to enter into the secondary option here, come down to the admin values or aim assist, and enter in some aim assist values for the secondary profile, as it doesn't carry over for both. Some mods will, so there's things like slide cancel, everything, that'll still be here. Those will already still be set up on the secondary profile, but you will need to set up some aim assist and anti-recoil stuff again on the secondary profile. Now, we also set up the custom profile as well. So if I press my custom profile buttons, which was R3, RS, and D-pad down for me, you can see it then change to the custom profile. You can then come in here and adjust settings for your custom profile. A lot of people like to use this one for ground loot. I like to use it for my one profile method, which I also have a video on, which I'll leave a link to in the description as well. And there we go. So that's everything I needed to go through for the video. I understand that was very quick and there wasn't a lot of detail, but you should by now know how to enter the menu, navigate that menu, change the values, and you should have your script set up and ready to go. You got your primary profile, your secondary profile, custom profile ready to go. You got a rapid fire quick toggle. You're pretty much all set. It's just going to be up to you to go through and set up some anti-recoil stuff for it. I mentioned before to use the admin aim assist stuff, so you don't even have to worry about going through and choosing different settings for that. You just need to go through and choose the different presets, which is extremely easy compared to going through and changing 6 or more different settings that you're not even sure what you're fucking changing, you know? So that's everything. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments. Cheers for watching. I'll see you next time.